My name is Megan Snyder, and I was assigned the micro teaching strategy of repeated readings. Repeated readings are a strategy that can increase accuracy, fluency, and comprehension. For this repeated reading, we'll be reading a poem about squirrels. So to start the lesson, I would show my students a video to kind of engage their interest and get them thinking about squirrels, a common sight here in our area. And then I'd like to start discussing with them what they know about squirrels and activate their prior knowledge a little bit. Then I would start with the first reading of the poem. So this poem is called The Squirrel. Whisky, frisky, hippity-hop, up he goes to the treetop. Whirly-twirly, round and round, down he scampers to the ground. Furly-curly, what a tail, tall as a feather, broad as a snail. Where's his supper? In the shell. Snap, cracky, out it fell. So then I would ask the students what they thought of the poem and what they thought it was about and some of their favorite parts. Next, I would provide all my students a copy of the poem to read themselves. I would ask that they read the poem to themselves at least twice, and after each time, get a sticker to mark their paper to indicate that they've completed it from their teacher. So I'd like if you could read that poem for me, please. And when you're done, let me know and I'll give you a sticker.
All right, I'm done.
Why don't you mark your paper with this and read it again silently to yourselves.
Read it again?
Yes, please.
Okay.
It's important to note that the golden number with repeated readings is at least 4 exposures.
All right, I got it.
Here's your second sticker. I included stickers as a mode of representation so students can self-check and self-monitor their progress during this portion of practice. So now we're at 3 repeated readings, and at this point I think it's important to talk with the student and gauge their comprehension of the material to see if there's anything that you need to discuss. You might want to ask them what your favorite part of the poem was.
I think my favorite part of the poem was when he came down the tree to the ground looking for his, I think he's looking for his dinner.
Were there any parts of any words in the poem that you were unfamiliar with?
I don't think so. I think I understand them.
Do you think all of the words are real words or that some of the words are made up?
I think they're all real for the most part.
Do you know what kind of writing this is?
A poem?
It is a poem. So after you discuss the poem a little bit with the student, you'll be able to gauge a better understanding of what they understand and what they don't, and what might need to be discussed more. From there, depending on the class size and the level of your readers, it's time to reach the 4th exposure. In this instance, I'm going to ask my student to read the poem aloud. While your student is reading the poem aloud, it's important to take note of any areas they struggle with in regards to fluency and correctness, and using that as a tool to go back and work on those areas later. So if you'd like to please go ahead and read the poem for us.
Whiskey frisky, hippity hop, up he goes to the treetop. Whirly twirly, round and round, down he scampers to the ground. Furly curly, what a tail, tall as a feather, broad as a snail. Where's his supper? In the shell. Snap, cracky, out it fell.
Great job. So at this point, after the students have had multiple exposures, I would take the opportunity to allow them to get creative in whatever mode most appeals to them, appeal to their multiple intelligences. So at this point, I would prompt students to create something themselves and model it after our squirrel poem, and use that to share with the class. And that might be in a musical mode, written, drawn, whatever appeals to them, and to make sure that they're drawing the connections through the reading, with the anticipatory set, and about squirrels. So overall, that's all I have. Thank you for watching.